All right, we got a video by Claimer Uncut. You know, go and watch his video so you can get them numbers up, and yeah, support him. And Claimer, when you hear this, go on LinkedIn and post your video, make an account so that investors or people that want to donate can give you money there, because a lot of investors and people that want a boxing game on LinkedIn that are developers. So let's get it started. Hopefully I can get it right this time, because I've been trying my best to record. This is like my third time. Hopefully the third time is the charm. All right, let me start. Let's go.
I spent 298 days developing a boxing game to find out if one man can compete with a AAA monolith who many believe are suppressing the quality of combat games today. Can I lead a new movement, creating a game for the people, by the people?
This I like what I'm saying. Get some tweets. I like what I'm saying. Some of it's over the top, but I like what I said.
We are back. Today, we discuss the key features of my new boxing game, Truthbound. Just 10 months in, one man. We'll discuss feinting, parrying, manual blocking, 10 variations of the jab. Not to mention that this is all part of a boxing survival RPG. Most of you know who I am, which means you know exactly why I'm making this game. So support the cause, link in the description. But first, let us address the elephant in the room. The Undisputed community is on its last legs. What a big surprise. When you continue to buy and promote mediocre games, companies will not fix something which they consider not broken. Many of you, sadly, are still holding on to false hopes. At first, we must understand why we keep getting misled. Truth number one, you are a pawn of a corporate system called the hook model. Real gamers play the likes of Tekken and Street Fighter for the challenge of learning complex fighting systems, whereas the everyman buys Undisputed to live vicariously through their favorite fighter. That is the community's biggest downfall. These games are nothing but digital stores, created for the sole purpose of selling you fighter DLC. And the cycle never ends. Unless, of course, we understand the traps we keep falling for. Trap number one, motion capture is a lie. This is an 18-year-old trailer, THQ's first UFC game. Motion capture was perfect 18 years ago, but a final game could not look like this because unedited motion capture would result in a slow-paced, unresponsive game. Case in point, Undisputed's footwork looks fantastic, but it takes 2 seconds to change direction, and you often feel like you're not in control of the fighter. UFC 5's movement looks janky, but it's a far more responsive game. Our community tend to celebrate illusions over authenticity, and this is a prime example. Ragdoll physics cannot be used in an online competitive game. Indie games using this feature are lying to you. AAA games do not use this for good reason. Physics are unpredictable. So even if both computers remain in sync, the results will always be different. Truthbound uses traditional proven methods used in some of the greatest combat games ever made. Why don't companies use these methods now? Because it takes time, and time is money. Movement is fully deterministic, kinematic, and responsive. It takes less than a second to change direction whilst still maintaining fluid movement. That includes circling out at a faster pace to reposition yourself, as well as dash, slide, and slip fully driven by kinematics. Nice. With this foundation alone, you have full control over your distance management, which is the most important aspect of any combat game. But it goes further than that. Let's talk about hand fighting. With responsive movement, that means that punches are relatively easy to evade. You can set your punches up with feints. Feints allow you to reposition yourself, take your head off the center line, but most importantly, disrupt the rhythm of your opponent. In Truthbound, when you feint and post, you are subtly moving your feet to either keep keep yourself at range or find angles. These features carry weight for 3 reasons. Manual blocking means there is not an invisible force field which blocks every punch at every angle until the block health bar runs out. If someone's using the default block, I can still land the stiff jab up the middle. If your opponent is beating you with the jab, you can utilize the tight guard, but that leaves you open to hooks. However, truth be told, you'll rarely be using the block because it's so easy to step in and out of range. Let's talk about non-tracking punches. In layman's terms, punches do not track you like homing missiles. Your opponent will rotate to face you, but it isn't instant. And that is why subtle footwork and shot placement count. You see, when you land a jab, you're not just hitting the head, you're hitting the frontal lobe, the chin, your opponent's nose. Think of them as critical damage zones, which just like in real boxing, act as deterrents. If your opponent decides to fight reckless, if you walk onto a well-timed punch, it could lead to a bloody nose, restricting your airflow, which would result in faster stamina loss and slower stamina recovery rate. Similar deterrents would apply to getting hit in the liver, the solar plexus. You get the drift. Now, this doesn't force you to fight patiently, but it does encourage you to fight strategically, which leads me on to a feature that most AAA games avoid: position-based actions. Let's start with an advanced combination.
Now, do I have to edit this out?
Does encourage you to fight strategically, which leads me on to a feature that most AAA games avoid: position-based actions. Let's start with an advanced combination. Your opponent is getting the better of you with the step-in jab. You're able to duck under, but you're not close enough to throw meaningful shots. Alternatively, I attempt to shuffle left, but I'm still getting caught with the jab. And that is where position-based actions come into play. In this case, we duck under the jab, but with our head lowered, we transition to the shuffle. Note that this time, when we shuffle, our positioning is lower. Not only do we avoid the jab, but the momentum generated by the shuffle increases the damage of the rear body hook. You also have basic defensive scenarios. If you're leaning to the right, you should be able to throw a jab while still maintaining that angle. Now, none of this means that you can't be beaten by a novice. Just like in real boxing, the overhand set up by the jab always has the potential to shut your lights out. Not only that, you have the option to overcommit throwing swinging hooks, which can drain your stamina, leave you open to counters, but if they land, they can pay off. That is just the beginning. And let us now cover the system I've enjoyed working on the most, heavily inspired by the Warriors, Bully, and Def Jam Fight for New York. I have the blueprints in place to create a story-driven underground ecosystem. The concept as it stands: you're an office worker who finds himself in a compromising position, which the choice is a life behind bars or a new beginning, of which it is in your hands to make the most of it. You start from the very bottom, fighting for food and shelter. However, once you prove yourself to be of value, you'll gain opportunities to join and represent different factions. From here, you'll be able to take on side jobs to earn money, which will enable you to buy better quality food, access to better training equipment, as well as sleeping facilities. Your choices will affect your attributes. Before you go into a fight, if you end up with a broken orbital bone, that will carry with you into the next fight. Now, this functionality exists, but in the shape of blueprints. Eventually, every character in this small world will have their own backstory. This is where you, tired of the state of combat games, can get involved. If you see the potential in this game, I kindly ask that you support the cause. Join my Ko-fi, link in the description, so I can continue to work on the game without any distractions. And for those who support throughout the journey, we'll have a spot open for them to be an NPC in the game. What do you have to lose? Truthbound has the potential to be an online community where you and your friends can create your own factions, build and craft better facilities. Maybe you don't want to be a boxer. You can take on a different role: a trainer, a chef, a manager. I have the capabilities to create all of this, but I don't have time. A big thank you to the content creators who reacted to my first trailer. Just remember that I'm making this game for the community that you're a part of. Don't be petty. Don't forget to join the community Discord, link in the description. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the state of combat games. Maybe you're content with the likes of Undisputed and UFC. If so, let me know. Just one man in 10 months. Have a great weekend. Take care. Peace.
Yes. Yeah, I like what I was saying. Great job.